Now in exercise number 2, this open D slide exercise 2, you'll notice the first measure, and what I like to do is tell people a lot of times to split the measure in half and look at it as 2 puzzle pieces. So the first 4 notes you see are strings 6, 3, 4, 2, and I refer to that as a forward roll. And you're using P-I, P-M, or thumb, index, thumb, middle, followed by a pair of pinch patterns. And that kind of establishes the rhythm of the piece a little bit and gives it somewhat of a groove. Then you'll notice in measure 2, that's a pinch with the slide. And then followed on beat 2 by a pinch and a finger, another slide up, and then another pinch. So you'll notice on beats 1 and 3, 4 to 5 and 5 to 7, you want to watch your timing, and you would think of it as 1 and, 2 and, there's your 3 and. So your rhythm on number 2 would be Now you'll notice on the and of beat 2, where the 5 is on string 3, I'm plucking that with I, my index finger, but then when I do the very next one with the P and M on 5 and 3, in order to avoid doubling up on the same finger twice in a row, I switch fingers and I use M. So watch my right finger. So that finger substitution is crucial. If you jump over to measure 4, you'll see the 7s and 8s there. That's got a reverse slide technique in it, so I'm up at 8. When I pluck that note and I arrive back, you'll notice the slide is indicating to show up at 7, but my thumb has to hit that low bass, the 7 there. So there's a slide move in the melody, but an attack with the thumb on the bass string. And you'll notice my melody, the strings 3, 2, and 1 at the end are, which is an arpeggio. And then on your, let's see, your 6th measure, you'll notice I put a mention in there about for 12 string, and anytime one is coming down on strings 3 or 4, you're targeting your octave strings. You'll also notice on the first beat, you're creating a new distance. Before you've only done 1 fret or 2 frets, now you have to go 3 frets, so you have to watch your timing. That's why it's 1 fret, or in this case 3 frets. A metronome will keep you lined up. Then right there, you'll notice I mentioned to play my 3rd string with P, or my thumb, and that sounds really nice on a 12 string. It brings out that octave string. You'll also notice the way I designed the right hand pattern is to have my thumb play on strings 6, 5, 4, and then 3. Whoop. And then on the last measure, measure 8, I'm playing 2/8 notes here. So when I slide from 10 up to 12, as soon as I arrive at 12, that's exactly when I want to hit my M, or my middle finger, on 2. Now I happen to notice that on that very next bass string, the 12 on string 5 lets me know that I have to dampen 5 strings here, keep my 6th open, and I'm covering exactly 5 strings with this slide. Once again, the ring finger braces up against here, middle gets out of the way. My thumb is dragging back a little bit to the left. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's my thumb back there a bit. So when I come here on 12, right there, 5th string, you might even just work on that move alone. Now on the last 2 beats, they're 2 pinches, 4 and 1, and then 3 and 1, and you see the vibrato signal there. So what you can do is, if you want to get some of that extraneous rattly sound, you can lift the index finger and add some of this extra vibrato, and that gives you kind of a shimmer effect. So here it is without the shimmer and no vibrato, which is a little bit plain. That puts a little more life into it, but don't overdo that. And so give that a try for a while, see how you do with that. This is probably a little bit more difficult than the next two coming up, but I wanted to show you how to move the slide some other distances, so have fun with that one. So as I mentioned with open D slide exercise 2, you can use a 12 string for an interesting effect, and here's an example of measures 6, 7, and 8 with the 12 string, and note the 4th and 3rd string octaves.